if you are appendix carrying or strong side carrying, you're basically going to do the same thing, adjusted to what it is that you are doing in terms of your carry. So we're going to get the gun out. You're going to learn how to do all that later. But here's your basics. What do I have to do to get a gun out here from concealment? So first of all, I have to get this out of the way. Cool, my cover garment's out of the way. Now I'd have problems shooting at this point. But at the very least, my cover garment's out of the way. Okay, so cool. I got it up and out of the way, some form, some shape, somehow. I'm not teaching you technique in doing that. Now what do I have to do? I have to get a hold of this stupid gun. Okay, now this is, again, blue gun. Okay, blue gun. I'm not going to do that. This not blue gun. So we're going to change, once we get going there. Sorry, I don't have a blue VP9 with me today. Okay, so I have to grip this gun. I have to get a hand on this gun and get a hold of it. I want you to get a grip on this gun that is a full grip on the gun. Now that might mean you need to adjust your height on your holster a little bit. Do you notice that I have enough room here in my holster that I can get my fingers in here? There will be some of you who don't, that it is way down here. And you kind of have this habit of going, well, okay, I've got that much, and then I get it out, and then I move it around and those things. You're juggling a gun out of the holster you're doing. We will help you to adjust the height of your holster so that you can get your fingers all the way around the grip. I do not mind. Right now, we're not talking significant technique. Some people like to drive their thumb back behind the gun and get their fingers around it. Totally acceptable technique and lovely and wonderful. Some people like to do what they call the claw, which means their thumb is on the back plate of the gun. Totally wonderful and fine, and I don't care for right now. Now, once we start talking about working at speed from appendix, I start carrying, and we will talk about that, but I don't care right now. Make sense? Now what do I have to do? I have to pull gun from holster. No shooting on gun holster. Now, what did you notice here about my trigger finger? I kept my finger high and on the frame or on the slide as I did that. Great. Now I let this cover garment go. Just let it go. Notice it did what I needed to do, even with my tactical shelf. Okay? My chubby fluffs. Okay? I'm working on it. Okay? Put my second hand on the gun. Now, what I want to be very cautious of here is that what people have a habit of doing is they go this way, the gun starts coming out, and this hand starts sneaking out in front here. How many of these digits do I want to point a gun at? I would like 0. Anybody see the video on the channel not too long ago? Dude's checking his laser beam. Put a bullet right through his hand, too. Put a bullet right through his hand. Anybody see it? And you go, well, that's a self-correcting error. So again, what I want to do here is once the gun comes out, it gets pointed at the berm. I let this cover garment go, put my second hand on the gun, press the gun out in front of me, see my sights, use my trigger, do all those things. Okay, now I've pewed. Pew, 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 pew. All my pews are done. Now it's time to go back into the holster. Now's when we actually have a technique that I want to teach you right now. So the first thing that I do is I come out here. This is, generally what a lot of folks will call position 4 or a fully pressed out position. I'm going to bring this gun back to me into what we call our high compressed ready. This is a position I can shoot from if somebody is really close to me. If I have AJ come out here and he's within 2 arms lengths of me and I stick a gun out here, he is going to grab a hold of that gun and do bad things to me. So instead, I can shoot from here if he's close. Pew, pew, pew. Right? And he can't get that. Now, of course, he's not just going to stand there and let me shoot him, but that point is. Thank you, AJ. So this is a high compressed ready position. Notice where my muzzle is pointed. Downrange is in the direction of least consequence. People have this habit of doing this. No bad juju. Point in the direction of least consequence. Take my support hand off the gun and get my cover garment cleared and out of the way again. If I'm doing strong side, I'll show strong side in a minute. I'm just going to show you appendix carry right now. Clear that cover garment out of the way. Get it back high to my sternum. What I see people do a lot of times, and instructors will back me on this, is they go down to their holster and they start doing this stuff. Now I'm pointing a gun at my hand to try to get back into the holster. I've actually seen somebody go, there's this, and I put my gun this way. Like, this bad, don't do that. So I clear this way out of the way. Now, I also here want to take my thumb from the side of the gun and put it on the back plate of the gun. This lets me do a couple things. Number one, if I have a hammer-fired gun, it blocks the hammer. If I have a double action and it's down like this, it keeps it from moving to the rear. If I have a single action gun like a 1911, it should be cocked, safety is on, and that I put my thumb over that hammer that God forbid something goes wrong, the hammer does not drop. Gives me a little bit of extra safety. If I have a striker fired gun, and for instance, I'm running a Glock. If you're running a Glock, it should have a striker control device on the back of that Glock, which is what they call a gadget. I consider a gadget a marker of clue. Not that you're clueless if you don't have one, but if I see you have a gadget on your Glock, I go, that person has a clue. It blocks the striker. They don't have one for the VP9. And I've talked to the owner of the Tau Development Group and said, why don't you make one for my guns? And he goes, because it's a HK, John, and there's not enough of them out there. And I go, no, but me. I don't care about everybody else. I didn't say make them for the world. I said make it for me. So anyways, he hasn't figured out that I'm the center of the universe yet. So anyways, so I put my thumb on the back plate, and then here's what I've got. I cleared my cover garment, and I stick my thumb on my person. This is important. What I see people doing appendix all the time is they fish this gun this way. That thumb is off my body, and so there I just started pointing a gun at myself. And you go, I don't do that. Oh, I will take the video. Okay, so instead, I stick that thumb on my person, and now the next thing I really want to do with appendix carry is I see people go to their holster this way and down. But of course, that's getting real close to pointing a gun at somebody I don't want to do. So instead, I simply turn the gun horizontal. That lets me see my trigger finger. Is my trigger finger off the trigger? Is it high and on the frame or on the slide? And now I look down and I clear. Now here's two things I'm going to do for that. Take my strong side foot and step it back and kick my hips forward. Do I look like a goofball right now? I look like a goofball who is highly unlikely to shoot himself. Okay, so now I can see, I look, I move my tactical shelf, and I see my holster. There it is, and there's nothing in it. This is important. There's nothing in it. I lower my gun down and tap the outside of my holster with my muzzle. The reason I tap the outside with my muzzle is I am verifying to myself. I am at my muzzle, my trigger finger is up, my support hand is out of the way, and is the gun pointing at me? Nope. Now I raise up just enough to get the muzzle in the holster, and with the minimum amount of force necessary, slowly, carefully, reluctantly holster until the gun is all the way in the holster. Notice my fingers stayed on the grip fully. Mistake I see a lot of people make, they start this in here. As soon as the gun muzzle gets in the holster, they release like this and just press in. But I have seen people that they get there and things don't work right. Bad day. Okay, one more time. I'll show you with a little bit better rapidity. I go out and I do all the pew that I need to do. Bring the gun back to my high compress ready position, clear my cover garment. Step my strong side foot back and kick my hips forward. Hey, Macarena. Gonna stick my thumb to my body, turn the holster over so that I can see my trigger finger and see there. Clear my tactical shelf and look at my holster. Tap the outside, easy, safely, reluctantly holster. It's in there, cool, I'm done. Now that takes a minute, but one of the things that we're gonna do here is people go, but wait a minute, John, I gotta be ready for the next rep. Take your time to the holster. There are no prizes for being first to the holster. All of our instructors are going to give you plenty of time, even when they want to give you another rep. When I'm on the range, I'm going to tell you I don't do up commands. I'm going to give you a task to do and send you off to do it. And if the one who takes the time into the holster, I go, yay!